On February 4th, 2019, 31-year-old Travis Kaufman was enjoying a routine run through a wooded area about 15 miles northwest of Fort Collins, Colorado. To be specific, he was in an area called Poudre Canyon, which is part of the Rocky Mountain Range. Being an experienced trail runner, Travis was used to the rugged and uneven terrain that is frequently seen in these foothills. He was planning on traveling about 13 to 15 miles, starting in Laurie State Park and headed south into Horsetooth Mountain Park. While crossing through a narrow point on the West Ridge Trail, he heard the sound of leaves rustling behind him. Travis wasn't initially alarmed, as the area he was in was filled with harmless wildlife, including deer and squirrels. He turned around to check what the sound was and saw a mountain lion standing about 10 feet away from him. Fear immediately filled his body, as Kaufman knew this creature had the potential to harm him. He threw his hands up in the air and started to scream, a tactic that is commonly used to scare off certain creatures, such as bears and mountain lions. Unfortunately, his attempt to ward off the animal failed. The mountain lion quickly lunged at Travis and locked its jaws around his wrist. The creature then wrapped its arms around the 31-year-old man and began digging its claws into his back. The two of them tumbled 20 feet off the trail and ended up in a downhill gully. The mountain lion seemed to be young, so Travis was gravely concerned with its mother showing up and making the situation even worse. He was able to pin the creature on its back, giving him an opportunity to grab some nearby sticks. Travis attempted to puncture the cougar's neck with this impromptu weapon, but it didn't work. He then picked up a rock and hit the creature in the head twice, but it wasn't very effective. The 31-year-old man still had his wrists tightly locked in the mountain lion's mouth. Travis then moved his weight and positioned one of his feet on the creature's neck. He held it there for several minutes, hoping the maneuver would be enough to incapacitate the cougar. To his dismay, the animal kept thrashing and trying to fight back. After a few more minutes and multiple bouts of desperate scratching, the mountain lion stopped moving. Although he was unsure if the creature was still alive, Travis used this chance to run away and attempt to reach safety. While frantically running through the trails, with his face soaked in blood, Travis was terrified that another mountain lion might emerge and attack him. The Fort Collins resident observed the nearby rocky slopes and knew he was right in the middle of prime cougar territory. Another jogger saw him and agreed to escort the injured man out of the park. After moving nearly 3 miles away from the attack location, Travis reached the trailhead. Fortunately, another individual gave him a ride to the Poudre Valley Hospital. The injuries to his face were severe, which needed over 20 stitches from the bites and clawing. There was also damage to his hand and wrist, which were locked in the cougar's mouth during the encounter, which required a wrist brace to heal. The 31-year-old also received a range of antibiotics to support his recovery. Mountain lion attacks are exceedingly rare, and this encounter quickly gained national attention. Wildlife experts later confirmed that the mountain lion was a juvenile male, weighing approximately 35 to 40 pounds. While this size is smaller than a full-grown adult, it was still a formidable predator, equipped with sharp teeth and claws capable of inflicting serious harm. Experts believe the juvenile lion had likely separated from its mother and was struggling to hunt, which could explain why it chose to attack a human, an unusual behavior for such an animal. Travis later recounted the event during interviews, reflecting on the sheer terror and adrenaline he felt during the attack. Despite his fear, his instinct to fight for survival took over. It was really quiet when it happened, Travis said in one interview, describing the eerie stillness of the moment. I didn't even hear it approach me until it was too late. The aftermath of the attack was not just physical. It left Travis grappling with emotional and psychological challenges as well. He experienced flashbacks and an intense awareness of his vulnerability in nature. Yet, he also found strength in the community that rallied around him. The incident prompted wildlife officials to investigate the area. They located the remains of the mountain lion and confirmed its death. They also conducted a broader assessment to ensure no additional mountain lions posed a threat to other hikers and runners in the area. Officials emphasized that mountain lions are typically elusive and avoid human interaction. Attacks like this one, while terrifying, are rare, both physically and emotionally. The stitches on his face and wrist left scars, a reminder of the harrowing ordeal. Despite this, he maintained a sense of humor about the incident, even jokingly calling himself the guy who killed a mountain lion with his bare hands. His story inspired countless people, highlighting the resilience of the human spirit and the importance of preparedness when venturing into the wilderness. Today, Travis continues to enjoy outdoor activities, but with a heightened sense of awareness and respect for the wild. In May 2018, a devastating cougar attack in the Cascade Mountains near North Bend, Washington, shocked the outdoor community and underscored the potential dangers of venturing into predator territory. S.J. Brooks, a passionate cyclist and outdoor enthusiast, and their friend Isaac Setterbaum set out for a bike ride on a bright Saturday morning. The pair planned to explore the rugged terrain of the Cascades, a region known for its breathtaking scenery and thriving wildlife. While both were aware that cougars inhabited the area, attacks on humans were rare, making the tragedy that unfolded all that more shocking. As the two cyclists pedaled through the dense forest trails, they noticed a cougar watching them from the shadows. Initially, the animal seemed curious rather than threatening. However, as they continued down the trail, it began to follow them. Concerned, Brooks and Cedarbaum dismounted their bikes to confront the animal. They waved their arms, shouted, and tried to intimidate it, common advice for deterring cougars. The cougar retreated momentarily, disappearing into the underbrush, and the two cyclists felt a brief sense of relief. Just minutes later, the cougar reappeared, this time more aggressive. Without warning, it lunged at Cedarbaum, knocking him to the ground and clamping its jaws around his head. As Cedarbaum struggled to fend off the attack, Brooks acted heroically, shouting and striking the animal to draw its attention away from his friend. Their efforts succeeded. The cougar released Cedarbaum and turned its focus to Brooks. Injured and bleeding, Cedarbaum managed to escape and ran several miles down the trail to call for help, though he feared for Brooks' safety. Unfortunately, Brooks did not have the chance to escape. The cougar pursued him and launched another attack, dragging him into the forest. When law enforcement and wildlife officials arrived hours later, they followed signs of a struggle and eventually discovered the cougar standing over Brooks' lifeless body. The animal exhibited uncharacteristic behavior, refusing to leave the area even as officials approached. Wildlife officers were forced to euthanize the cougar on site to recover the body safely. The autopsy of the cougar revealed critical clues about its behavior. The adult male was significantly underweight, only around 100 pounds, compared to the healthy average of 140 to 180 pounds. Wildlife biologists determined that the animal was likely starving, which may have driven it to attack humans, a behavior almost unheard of for cougars. Predatory attacks by cougars are rare, with fewer than 30 fatal incidents reported in North America over the past century. Experts noted that this cougar's condition and desperation likely played a major role in the tragedy. Brooks' attack highlighted the broader issues affecting wildlife in the Pacific Northwest. Habitat loss, urban sprawl, and environmental disruptions such as wildfires and severe winters have made it increasingly difficult for predators like cougars to find sufficient prey. As deer populations dwindle in certain areas, cougars may venture closer to human activity in search of food. While these animals typically avoid humans, extreme circumstances like starvation can lead to dangerous encounters. S.J. Brooks' death deeply impacted their community. Known for their love of the outdoors and inclusive spirit, Brooks was remembered as a kind and adventurous individual who embraced challenges and encouraged others to explore nature. Family and friends organized memorials and fundraising in his honor, advocating for safer practices in outdoor recreation and greater awareness of wildlife conservation. The attack also prompted renewed discussions about safety in cougar habitats. Experts continue to emphasize its importance of taking precautions, traveling in groups, carrying deterrents like bear spray, and avoiding areas where cougars are known to hunt. In the rare event of an encounter, making oneself appear large and loud, maintaining eye contact, and fighting back if attacked remain critical survival strategies. While Brooks' story is heartbreaking, it's important to recognize how rare such incidents are. Cougars are generally elusive and avoid human interaction, making this case a tragic exception rather than the norm. The attack serves as a reminder of the unpredictable power of nature and the need to balance human activity with respect for wildlife.